Oh, so it's been a while since I made a little video blog. I've been trying to find some stuff out, and I had made all these plans, and I was going to kind of have more information before I made a blog, and then I now have more information, but it's not what I thought I was going to be sharing. So let's do, I don't know where to start. Let's start with what has happened that is good. I have lost 5 pounds in the last couple of weeks, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I decided to join Weight Watchers online just to see if that would be helpful. I don't know that it's better than straight calorie counting or what. It's an interesting idea. It's a pretty well laid out website and program, so give it a shot. Why not? I have to sit in a very specific way or I look like a ghost, so that's exciting because I'm so pale. I've been doing a lot of thinking about food addiction lately, because I think it's a real addiction and it's dangerous. Maybe not as dangerous as some hardcore drugs, but it can still kill you if it gets out of hand. And the really shitty part about food addiction is that you can't just quit food. Like, you still have to eat, so you still have to go to the grocery store, and you still have to be tempted by all the things that you were probably eating before, so it's so much easier to relapse if you're stressed, or having a bad day, or just something isn't going right, and you go to the store because you're out of food, and you buy chips and pizzas and ice cream or whatever. Oreos, you know, the things that are fatty and sugary and amazing in your mouth and disgusting in your body. I know, personally, I'm pretty sure I have, like, the subset of binge eating disorder. I'm not a full-out, I don't have full binge eating disorder because I don't do it weekly or anything like that, but I do it, and I am very aware of it. So I will buy, you know, a bag of potato chips and get the French onion dip, and I'll get ice cream, and I'll get whatever, soda, which I don't drink soda anymore, so that's helpful. I haven't binged on that, but I have. So instead I might get a bottle of wine and drink that instead, which is so much better for you. Oh my god. So anyway, I know that I do these things, and I have been trying very hard not to, but it is really goddamn difficult. So for people who don't understand why it can be so hard for others to lose weight, I want you to step back and realize that it's not as easy as you fucking think it is. Alright, I'm just saying. There's a lot that goes into it. It isn't just eating right and exercising. It's not that simple. It should be, but it's not. So anyway, that's that. So that's the part of my weight discussion today. I don't know if I have anything else to say on that. But here's what's happened to me in the last couple of weeks. I have decided that even though it's going to be expensive and hard and probably the hardest thing I'll ever do, I have decided that I want to have a baby, and I don't give a shit what other people think. If I don't want you to know that I'm going to go through a donor, I'm not going to tell you. So you can think that you can think whatever you want. I don't care. Anyway, not that I think the people who are watching this are judging me. I just know that people out there exist that would judge me. And those are the people I don't give a shit about. So I had decided to do this, and I talked to my doctor a couple of weeks ago, and we started the process to do this. I had to do some tests in radiology. So the first test I did was to make sure my fallopian tubes are open, which is important. And that test is called an HSG, and let me tell you, it is the most pain I've ever had in my uterus. Oh my god. So basically, they put a catheter in your uterus with a balloon on it. They blow up the balloon to keep the catheter in place, and then they pump your uterus full of fluid, of dye, radioactive dye, so they can see it on the x-ray. Holy shitballs, that hurt! God damn! Super painful. Was really unhappy. Luckily, my fallopian tubes are open, so that's good. Unluckily, my uterus is shaped funny, which is weird, but it happens. You know, it could have been something to be concerned about, but it doesn't look, from what the doctor has said, it basically looks like it's probably just partially septated, which isn't a big deal. So great. So I had that done, and then I had to get a follicle scan done, which is an ultrasound, where they go in and they look to see if you are ovulating properly. So they do it on the 12th day of your cycle, because that's about when most women start to ovulate. So they went in, and I got the results on Wednesday, and it turns out I am not ovulating properly. The follicle scan showed that I don't have any dominant follicles. They were all the same size, and one should have been larger. So basically what that means is, what my doctor told me is that I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which sucks balls. Also, seems to be a catch-all diagnosis for women who are having trouble with infertility. But with that being said, after looking it up and seeing what it's all about, I think I do have some of the symptoms, one of which is being overweight, having a hard time losing weight, which I definitely have, depression, obviously I have depression, acne, and as a 30-year-old, I have wondered why I still get acne when I, all the time, and that's probably why. I think those were the ones that really corresponded. Oh, painful periods, which mine are usually pretty painful. So those were the symptoms that I could really relate to, so, I mean, it makes sense that that's what I have. So, it's not the end of the road. It means that I probably won't get pregnant in March like I had wanted. It'll probably be later in the year, which a coworker pointed out to me is probably better, so I can have a baby in the summer so I don't suffer from postpartum so badly, which I didn't know was an issue, but I guess that makes sense. So, here is what really was hard for me to deal with when I first heard it. My biggest problem, and what is probably causing the most problem, is the fact that I am so heavy. So the fact that I have caused myself to be unable to have a baby at this point just breaks my heart, and it pisses me off that I did that to myself. Like, it's not, I didn't know I was doing it, so it's not like I should be mad, but at the same time, I've known that being overweight isn't good. It's not a healthy way to be, but fuck, it's where I'm at. And And like I just said, I do really have a hard time losing weight sometimes. I do not eat that poorly. Like, you would probably look at me and think I do, but I really don't. I gave up sugar and didn't lose any weight from doing that, which is insane because I was drinking at least 1 soda a day. So theoretically, I should have lost weight on giving up soda alone, but I didn't just give up soda. I gave up cookies and candy and all of these other things. Ice cream, which yes, I still have on occasion, but I try to get sugar-free ice cream or, you know, stuff that's lower in sugar. I read labels, I see what's the lowest in sugar. Which, by the way, is not always the healthy option. The healthy option isn't always the lowest one in sugar. And sugar's really the bad one. People give fat a bad rap, but fat is not as bad for you as people say. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Okay, so I don't eat that bad. I eat vegetables regularly. I eat a balanced, like, meal. I don't know. So the fact that I am as heavy as I am is really hard to deal with sometimes, because I don't understand how I have gained so much weight. Like I just said, like, I do know that I binge eat, but I also know it's not that often. I'll binge eat maybe once a month, which should not be enough to make me over 300 pounds. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And granted, I did spend a lot of years eating really shitty. I'm not saying I've always ate healthily, because that's not the case. But over the last few years, I have ate a lot better than I used to. So the fact that I just gain weight so easily and that my body refuses to let go of any fat store just frustrates the shit out of me. And I get so mad at myself. And not like myself, but just my body and my body chemistry, because it's a dick. Okay, so anyway, I feel like I keep ranting, and I'm really not like angry or anything. I'm just frustrated. So here's what I'm doing. My doctor is prescribing me a weight loss drug that's supposed to work on appetite suppression. So I'm gonna get that and see if that helps at all. And then I'm going to work on working out more, because I have not been working out as much as I should be. Working full-time and being in school full-time has really worn me out, and I am having a really hard time getting the energy to work out. But I'm going to work on it and see if I can make that change so I can find the time, make the time. I ordered a book. I actually ordered 2 books about PCOS. One is a workbook that a dietitian wrote. And I want to get that and look through that and obviously do the stuff in it since it's a workbook, and see if that will help me maybe lose weight, deal with this newly diagnosed problem. I bought a second book that was about PCOS, a patient's guide to it, just so I can learn more about it. So I'm doing that. So even though what I wanted to do was to talk to you and be like, I'm gonna make a baby, hopefully, instead I have to be like, I want to make a baby, but my chances are not great, and it might take years, and fuck. That's how I feel. yeah, I don't know. I never wanted to be this person, and I never understood how hard it was to hear that, to find out that I might be incapable of creating a life. And if I can't be a mom, I don't know what the point is. I don't know what to do with my life if I cannot have my own child. And I mean, maybe if this doesn't work, maybe I'll try to adopt. But I'm just heartbroken. And I'm trying to stay positive and work through it. And I tell myself that it's gonna be okay, and that I'm capable of this, and everybody has told me that I can do it, and I'll be able to get past this, and it's gonna be okay. But sometimes I just don't believe it. I have a hard time being positive. I can be really negative. That's what's easiest for me most of the time. I can be super positive for others. I can be encouraging to others and tell other people that things are going to work out for the best for them. But I cannot do that for myself. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to, as I go through this, especially since I'm going to be taking this weight loss drug that I can't remember the name of, I'm going to try to post more often to see if there is any real progress that's being made with that, if that helps at all, and then just how I'm going with the fertility and all of that. So, alright, I'm gonna go now because I have a bunch of stuff to get done today. So I hope everybody has a lovely day, and I'll talk to you later.